Hi everyone, and thank you for tuning into my home cooked meals site. By no means do I consider myself a chef, but just a person whom enjoys cooking and sharing with family and friends. Today I'm making brodo, my nephew Marcus's favourite. And just a little note on brodo. Brodo, using bones, has an amazing health benefit. It helps heal the digestive tract, relieve arthritis, fights infections, builds strong bones, promotes glowing skin and hair. It supports the liver in detoxing the body and reduces inflammation. Overall, brodo is a superfood. So my version of brodo today is I'm using some chuck bones, which is beef bones, a little bit of meat on it. I've had them in the freezer. I get a big bag, hubby brings them home, freeze them. Once they're thawed out, make sure you give them a rinse just to remove any excess little bone fragments and dust. And we will also be using some veggies, which is celery, carrots, tomato, onions and potatoes. So this is stage one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roast all these items together in a hot oven that's already preheated at 210 degrees, and this is how we do it. Now, if you don't want to use beef bones, you can use chicken. If you do use chicken carcasses, I recommend chicken necks. I believe that the necks have a lot more flavour in it. Throw in a thigh or a drumstick or something, that way you can remove the meat afterwards and have that in your soup too. Chicken soup, as we know, is great for colds and flu, but overall it's got amazing health benefits regardless of what it is. So first thing first, I'm going to pop in my celery into a baking tray. Doesn't matter how, just pop it in. Chop up my carrots. I don't peel them, no need to. Just chop them up, put them in. I think the skin's got great properties, so why remove it if we don't need to? Tomato, chop it in half, pop it in, a couple of tomatoes, a couple of onions that I've already peeled and rinsed off in water, a couple of potatoes, just cut them in half. Gonna add our chuck bones to it. So I'm using 5 chuck bones, and the last one, gonna leave it for the puppy. She'll be wrapped. Now, let's dress that. Salt, once again, be generous. Needs to have flavour into the brodo anyway. Freshly ground cracked pepper, as much or as little as you like. And some olive oil. Be generous as we're going to roast these. Already just looking at the colours, that looks pretty appetizing in its raw form. Give it a toss. Oops. Massage the oil, salt, pepper into all that. Okay. And we're going to pop this in the oven and just let it roast away 40 minutes or so till it's golden, not cooked. We just want to get some nice golden caramelized bits all over it, because the second stage is going to be putting it in a stock pot and letting it boil away for a good 2, 3, 4 hours, however we feel. Welcome back everybody. We are now at stage 2 of our brodo making process. veggies and the meat has roasted, as you can see. And now we're going to place all these ingredients in a large stock pot. And once we've done that, we're going to fill this up with water, add some stock, powdered stock that is, and we're going to let this boil away. I'm going to do it for about 2 to 3 hours. And during the cooking process, just make sure you season to taste also. Now, just about there. Whatever you do, do not leave any of the beautiful juices behind. Pop them all into your pot. There's so much flavour in that. Okay, I'm going to put in some stock powder. I'm using Vegeta, a couple of nice, 2-3 nice heaped tablespoons. We're going to fill this up with water. Not going to fill it up to the top, we're just going to cover all the meat and veggies. And I'm putting in hot water. It'll just help the boiling process. Switch that off. I'm going to add a chili into that. Just take the add a chili to that. Don't have to if you don't want to. And a few sprigs of fresh parsley from the garden. I've got an abundance of it at the moment. And we're going to now put this on the stove and let it cook away. I turn it on to a high heat until it boils. Then we're going to reduce it to a simmer, give it a stir every now and again, and like I said, let it go for a good 2-3 hours. See you for stage 3. Hi everyone, we're back to finish off cooking our pastina in the brodo. So the brodo is now totally cooked, and I wish you guys could smell the aroma that's coming out of this brodo. It is amazing. So what we're going to do, I've got another big pot here with a strainer. I'm going to strain out the liquid and vegetables and meat. Just be really careful because it is super hot. We're not going to use all this brodo obviously because there is quite a fair bit of it made. Okay. Let that strain through, and you're going to be left with a beautiful broth. Now, I don't keep the veggies or anything like that. I prefer just a nice smooth broth. Okay. Now there's quite a bit of stock there, so what we're going to do is I'm getting a smaller pot that I'm going to cook the pasta in. I'm going to be using risotto today. You can use tortellini, you can use baby ravioli, you can use any other small pasta, farfalle, ABCs, whatever you like. I've got risotto, so I'm using risotto. So I'm going to pour some of this brodo into the pot that I'm going to cook the pastina in. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to bring this back to the boil. Once it boils, we'll add our pasta in. So you just work it on how many people you're feeding in your family. There's only 3 of us tonight, so I won't need that much brodo. But this pot here, this size, I'm pretty much bringing it halfway. So leave that. Now, ratio of the pasta, the pastina, you don't need to use a full pack. You only want just a handful of pasta. You don't want it to be all pasta. You want to have the stock, the broth. So there's 3 of us, as I said. I'm only putting in pretty much like a handful. So 1, 2, 3. Let's put it on. Put the lid on and make sure you stir it occasionally because otherwise it will stick. Now, if you've got any leftover brodo, the best thing to do is cool it down a little bit, put it in the fridge up to 3 days, no more than that. Once it's solidified the next day or when you want to use it again, just skim off the fat that will sit and harden up on the surface, and that can be discarded. Otherwise, cool it down, pop them into some freezer containers in the freezer, and you've got brodo for another time. You can also use this brodo or stock to make risottos, casseroles, whatever you want. There's many uses for it. And just remember the health benefits of the brodo. It's something great. Now, if you've got little kids, don't put the chili in because it has got a bit of heat. I don't have any little children, so we're all good, and my family likes chili. We'll get back to you once the pastina is cooked. Follow the instructions on the packet. If you do need any pasta, things like that, give CFS a call at the office or go onto their website. They've got every pasta you can think of and other dry goods too. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Okay everybody, the brodo is now ready. Taking it off the stove. I've seasoned it a little bit more because I think it just needed a bit more seasoning, but obviously as you're cooking it, keep tasting it, making sure the pastina's cooked, and if it needs more seasoning, you do so. So, just going to pour it out into our soup bowls. And now, I'm not sure if you can see that. Look at that. Liquid gold. And I'll tell you what, this is good not just for adults, but kids love it. Easy. Just a hint, put a couple of ice cubes in it if you're going to give it to the kids. It helps cool it down quickly. I used to do it for my kids when they were little. Bit of Parmesan cheese if that's what you like. As much or as little as you like. And buon appetito. Stay tuned for my next cooking session tomorrow, and please watch and please subscribe. See you tomorrow.